take this idea of sharing and reframe it from just a behavior and maybe even a kind of Pollyannish thing that only kids do and that parents teach their kids that they should do, change it from that idea into a movement. And also something that should be seriously considered by governments and also social movements, that it should be part of the agenda, because it's such a powerful solution. And also reframing it as a systemic fix, as something that can address the two biggest social problems we have in the human world, which is, environment and global warming and inequality in economy, and that this is something that can address those two things all at once. It works at the root of the problem. There are two main things that all of these movements share. First is a recognition that the old way is broken, and that new approaches are required, and also a sense of urgency, both in an environmental sense and in terms of the economy. The second thing is, I think that there is optimism, and they see that there's new social conditions, new tools, new models of how to create value that can be a kind of replacement for the system that's broken and doesn't serve anymore. And it's a creative energy. It isn't so much about saying no to something, it's rather saying yes to an alternative and building that alternative. And I think that's very, very inspiring and motivating for people. I would say almost that maybe is the wrong question. And the place to start is to prove the ideas independently in some fashion, demonstrate their viability, and the policymakers will follow. And I think that history often proceeds in this fashion, that the people lead and the politicians follow. And so we shouldn't be waiting for the politicians for any kind of permission or okay to go make the world that we want. We should just go do it, and they're going to follow. Where I think movements have an advantage is that there is incredible diversity. All different classes and ethnicities and from different places with different approaches and different worldviews. I think that's beautiful. It makes it a little bit more of a challenge to organize, to come with a kind of common agenda. But there are, I think, plenty of common needs and common ground. And I think the most important thing that a collection of movements can do is to identify the common ground and not get hung up on specifics that would block something larger and more systemic kind of shift that we need to happen. Everything has to change. We have to rethink everything. Law and economics and culture and identity, business models, behavior, interpersonal dynamics, our psychology. This is all of the things that the world that we live in that has brought us to crisis is a whole system with all those dimensions, and we can't just change one thing to get a new system. We have to change everything, and this is why it's a challenge that calls out our creativity in a very deep and powerful way, and it's something that requires everyone. This is a kind of all hands on deck exercise that will redefine humanity. I think we'll be a different species after this process. Well, I mean, we're starting to see this new system emerge piece by piece. You know, it hasn't coalesced or crystallized quite yet. I was just in Bologna to celebrate the one-year anniversary of the new regulation for the care and regeneration of the urban commons, and it's a new regulatory platform that empowers citizens to really take care of their city, and is a tangible manifestation of this idea that Michelle Bounds talks about a lot, of the partner state, where the government plays a kind of facilitative role and a coordination role, but citizens on a peer-to-peer basis create the things that they need.